Hi. When it comes to improving indoor comfort, smart blinds or shutters are one of the most effective tools in a home assistant setup, especially when paired with solar irradiance data. While many popular services offer paid APIs for solar forecasting, there's a surprisingly powerful and free alternative, the Forecast Solar API. In this video, we'll explore how you can use Forecast Solar to calculate solar irradiance and automate your blinds based on actual sunlight intensity, not just time of day or ambient brightness. This method provides a smarter, more dynamic approach that reacts to real-world conditions, helping you maintain a cozy atmosphere, reduce overheating, and even save on cooling costs, all without spending a dime on premium weather data. Forecast Solar is a free and reliable service that provides photovoltaic production forecasts based on your location and panel setup. While Home Assistant has a default Forecast Solar integration, it's mainly focused on estimating energy production, not on giving you raw solar irradiance data. To use irradiance values for smart automations, like adjusting blinds based on actual sunlight intensity, you need more granular control and access to specific parameters that aren't exposed in the built-in integration. That's where the RESTful API comes in. By calling Forecast Solar's REST API directly, you can fetch watts per square meter, recalculate that parameter into the exact irradiance values, and use them to trigger smarter automations tailored to your comfort and energy-saving goals. You can find more detailed information about the API on the provider's website, which is shown now and was shown before. Additionally, I've published a thorough explanation with practical examples on my website, dienjoying.com, which I'll also walk you through in this video. Now, let's begin by setting up the RESTful API sensor in Home Assistant. But first, we need to take a closer look at the API URL and prepare the required parameters. As you can see, the first two parameters are lat and lon, which correspond to the latitude and longitude of your location. The easiest way to find them is by clicking on your home in Google Maps and noting the displayed coordinates. The next parameter is DEC, which stands for declination. In this context, it refers to the angle of your window rather than a solar panel. For a vertical wall-mounted window, this value should be set to 90 degrees. For roof windows, you'll need to provide a custom declination based on their angle. The next parameter is AZ, which represents the azimuth, or the compass direction your window faces. This value is crucial because the API uses it to estimate the hourly productivity of a solar panel, or in our case, a window, based on its orientation and the sun's position throughout the day. While using a compass is a simple way to determine azimuth, it's important to note a key difference. Most compasses measure azimuth from north, 0 degrees, moving clockwise, whereas Forecast Solar uses south, 0 degrees, as its reference point, with east as -90 degrees and west as 90 degrees. Therefore, a conversion is necessary to avoid incorrect results. For example, my windows face 166 degrees southeast according to a compass. To convert this for the API, I subtracted 180 degrees, resulting in an azimuth of -14 degrees, which I then used in the API URL. The final parameter is kWp, which stands for the installed module power in kilowatts. For the purpose of simplification, we'll use 1 kilowatt as a reference value in our calculations. With all parameters now defined, you can construct your API URL accordingly. Paste the URL into your browser to view the API response. Keep in mind that the browser will return data in XML format, while tools like curl can request either JSON or XML. Interestingly, XML is often more human-readable in the browser and helps in better understanding the structure of the returned data. The API response is divided into two main sections. Result containing the hourly solar forecast. Message providing metadata about the request. Pay close attention to the time zone field. The API delivers forecasts in the local time of the provided geographic coordinates, which simplifies automation. Another critical detail is the rate limit of 12 requests per hour for free-tier users. Be sure to stay within this limit to avoid interruptions in data retrieval. Now that your API URL is ready, it's time to integrate the irradiance sensor into your Home Assistant configuration. The most convenient way to do this is by using the File Editor add-on. For demonstration purposes, I'll show the configuration in a blank file to avoid sharing any personal details from my live setup. However, you should add your sensor configuration directly to your configuration.yaml file in your Home Assistant instance. If you're adding your first RESTful sensor, you'll need to restart Home Assistant completely to apply the changes. On the other hand, if you already have other RESTful sensors configured, you can simply use developer tools for YAML reload REST entities to load the new sensor without a full restart. The configured RESTful sensor uses the request timestamp as its main state value, while parsing the API responses result and message sections into sensor attributes for further processing. After reloading the RESTful sensors or restarting your entire Home Assistant instance, depending on whether this is your first REST integration, you can verify the result in Developer Tools. Navigate to Developer Tools for states and check the state of your newly created sensor. If everything is working correctly, you should see a data structure similar to the one demonstrated in the accompanying video. If not, consult your Home Assistant logs to identify and resolve any configuration issues. Now that your RESTful sensor is ready, you can proceed with creating a template sensor that calculates the current solar irradiance level. This sensor can be used to intelligently control your window blinds and help prevent overheating caused by direct sunlight. Before jumping into the configuration, it's a good idea to test and understand how the sensor behaves using the developer tools. If you're still in the States section of the developer tools, switch over to the Template tab. There you can paste the sample code to evaluate and debug your template logic in real time. Remember, all code examples referenced in this video are also available in my full article, linked in the video description. Don't forget to rename the sample sensor entity to match your setup and preferences for better clarity and organization. As a result, you should now see the following values displayed in the Result panel. The current date and time, formatted correctly for retrieving the corresponding irradiance value from the dictionary stored in your RESTful sensor. The current irradiance value, along with the raw dictionary data, allowing you to verify that your code is functioning as expected. Once you've confirmed everything is working correctly, it's time to create your final template sensor. But before doing that, make sure to remove any debugging code so the sensor displays only the current irradiance value. To create the sensor, navigate to Settings, Devices and Services for Helpers. Click +Add Helper and select Template. Choose Template as Sensor. In the form that appears, fill out the fields as follows. Name, choose a clear and descriptive name for your sensor. Template, paste your refined template code. You should immediately see the sensor's current value at the bottom of the form. Unit of measurement, Wm². Device class, irradiance. State class, measurement. Click Submit to save your sensor. Your template sensor is now ready and can be used to automate blinds based on real-time solar irradiance data, improving both comfort and energy efficiency in your home. Before moving forward, I highly recommend taking a couple of days to observe how your solar irradiance sensor setup is performing. Start by estimating the appropriate irradiance thresholds for when your blinds should open or close. Instead of immediately automating the blinds, create a simple automation that sends you notifications when these thresholds are reached. This gives you a chance to compare the actual room conditions with the predicted values and fine-tune the thresholds accordingly. This approach helps you avoid unexpected or unnecessary blind movements, keeping your family happy while you dial in the ideal comfort settings. Actually, I already have at least 2 exciting topics lined up for upcoming videos. Configuring smart scenarios for automated blinds control and building an irrigation system using Zigbee switches, fully integrated with Home Assistant. I'd love to hear your input. Which topic sounds more interesting to you? Let me know in the comments. Also, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you won't miss any future updates. Thanks for watching.